Okay, here we are again. I'm going to weld this up, but you can see how it's overlapping when you bend those over. So I'm going to take my zip cut wheel and I'm going to zip in between there. I would use my air saw, but if you try to air saw that, those little tabs are just going to vibrate with your air saw. So you will have no luck. So I'm going to take my thin zip cut wheel and chop those again, and then we will weld. Sucks. This is a lot of welding. Welcome to life. But at least you're not going to have some folded, wrinkled, rusted out sack of crap. The nice thing about doing this off the vehicle is that you can weld this up and then you can dress your weld from the back. You can epoxy this. You're not going to have a massive rust out issue. Plus, where you are in the world, we use weld-through primer anyways. Wax oil to piss out of everything when everything's painted, which is highly recommended, unless you suck and you're about that guy that fills stuff with green stuff. And then you're rocking. Anyways, let's shut her down and weld this up. Okay, anyways, that sucked. Sucked large. All those tiny little ribbons of steel that I had on there, I knew it was going to be horrendous to weld, and it looks like doo-doo. I am going to grind that down. That is not a good looking weld. You should not have welds that look like that. Like I said, man, not an exact science. So I'm going to grind her down, put appropriate adhesion, corrosion protection in there, whatnot. And but at least I have my shape. She lines up. She's kind of the same shape as what I'm looking for. That is negligible. I can beat that into submission. That is not a problem. These right here are not spectacular looking, but anyways, when you go to weld this thing back on the vehicle itself, you can go ahead and address that, because you're going to have to dress your welds anyways. That looks a lot worse on camera than it really is. Like, that's terrible looking. But like I said, I'm going to beat that roll properly and make it look like a panel again. I badmouth green stuff, but I will say this now: when you are dealing with your welds, use a little bit of green stuff on there, just because green stuff is actually, and I'm sorry, when I say green stuff, I mean kitty hair, or what do you call it, fiberglass reinforced filler, because it is waterproof. Putty and Bondo will absorb water. Green stuff is fiberglass. It will not absorb water. So it is good for that. Stay away from that metal to metal. And a little trick too, if you want, what you do is take some of this stuff or something similar. This is Supercharger. This is a Bondo thinner, not Bondo, filler thinner, sorry. It's a resin, and instead of just piling the green stuff on there, you can take that and you can thin out your product. And when you get good at it, you can thin out your product and do a lot of body work in one coat, and then just touch up your pinholes with combi filler. Anyways, different story. This is how you do your patch panel. I might make another video of it welded on. I don't know if I care. I just noticed that there are not many videos on how to do this, and a lot of the people that I see that do post videos are scary and frighten me and suck. So, okay, here's my other chunk. This one's actually working out bad ass. See, this piece right here that I mapped out, used the tape on, I still got to fold those little tablets in, is this piece right here. My piece looks better than that piece. Badass. See, right there. Look at that. Oh, get. That's my chunk right there. You can see it's similar. Extremely similar. Extremely perfect. So, fold your little tits in, recut, because when you fold these in, I'm even going to do it a little bit right here with one hand, you start to fold those in. Oh, make a liar out of me, you prick. Okay, well, that's cool. If I don't have to cut those, then that's awesome. Boy! Oh, okay, well, never mind then. I will not cut nothing because they are actually meeting up. And if they meet up like that, that is awesome because the bigger the gap, the more of a hole you're going to blow in that thing when you try and weld it up. So, yeah. Anyways, use my handy-dandy wood stove to beat that over, and it's looking great. I'm going to weld that up. Yep. Okay. It's not a YouTube video without somebody's beautiful face. So, here's mine. This is how we roll. This is another patch panel. This one's actually going to be a little bit more intricate. It's going to suck. But anyways, this is what you do, man. Just pile the tape on it. Do not be afraid to pile the tape on it. If you only do a couple layers of tape and you go to try to do this, what's going to happen is the tape will distort as you try to peel it off, and it will create a mess for you. So just pound the tape to it over and over and over, and layer it on top of each other too. Like do like 50% overlap with your tape. When you do a couple layers, don't be afraid to put it down onto your flanges, because that is obviously a major part of your patch panel. Just pile it on there. Like I said previously, don't buy cheap masking tape. Buy automotive masking tape. The household stuff just is not. Okay, so anyways, this is it, right? This is what you want. A bunch of layers of masking tape on top. And then you just take your razor blade. You're easier off to hold it like this, and then razor blade your shit off. At least you can see what you're doing. You can follow the edge. You're going to burn up a bunch of razor blades too. If your razor blade gets dull, don't fight it, because you're just going to tear the tape. So just get a new one if it starts to dull up. And yeah, just stop sucking. On the previous ones, I already had my lines and my cut marks drawn out. On this one, I'm just going to cut the tape first, and then I'll draw it out later. Like I said, dull razor blade, yeah. Grab another one. Don't be cheap about it. Cheap body men do cheap work. There's a difference between inexpensive and cheap. Okay, anyways, this is how you do it. I have my tape cut out like that, right? Swiss cheese again. This is for the other side of the car. And this is what you do. You try and press it down as best as you can. Try and get as much of the wrinkles out. Map out your edges thusly in some kind of manner. Like I said, this is not fucking math. This is not an exact science, so you just gotta kind of beetle off as best you can. Laddle, 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 deedly diddly dee, diddly dee, doop, doop, diddly dee. That just gives you a basic idea so that when you have this on your sheet metal, you know where to pound your edges. Now this is the tricky part. When the tape is on there like that, it's going to wrinkle. Deal with it. You got to just try and build your little lines like that. Like I said, you need stress cuts in order to wrap that around. Sure, that many. Take your handy dandy razor blade. Don't worry about this one being dull. Just push hard. Don't cut your finger off, because I'm not going to be liable for what you do. So pia pia pia, and then as I showed on one of the previous little clips, just you gotta peel it gently. Don't just get savage about it. And if you start to peel it and one of these little layers comes off, make sure you pick it up and put it with the rest of the layers. And then this is the tricky part. Don't just go to town on it. You got to make sure you get your little tablets off there as well, because that is your integral piece. Sometimes they stick together. You just got to give it a little love. There you go. Okay, now keep peeling. So just like that. If that one wants to come off, make sure you get under it and get it with the rest of your tape. This is not an outstanding way to do it, but this is how we roll. Do like that. There you go. Bob your uncle. Throw that away. Well, don't throw it away. Keep it till the end of the job, because you never know, right? Now, to save yourself a bunch of cutting, go like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, but I'm not going to cut that out. I'm going to leave it so that when you make your piece, you can fit it, right? Because when you go to bang this over, it might move it up or down either way. Like I said, I'm going to sleeve everything, but this is what you want. And then go to town on it. Use your air saw, that guy, or use your zip cut wheel. Love that guy. And hack it out and start banging it. Okay, this one's going to be complicated. This is going to suck because I'm dealing with a reverse curve. So even when I beat this over, it's going to do funny things to the metal, and you're going to have to deal with it appropriately. Don't fill it with green stuff.
I guess I've seen something every bit as stupid as
Right? Peel the tape off, pull your tabs in, recut, weld. Don't judge me. This is actually the first time I've ever done this, but I think I'm doing a damn good job.
Ooh, so nice.